It's time now for the award-winning #1 local talk show in Northeast Pennsylvania, The Sam Lesante Show. Now here's your host, Sam Lesante.
Welcome, everyone, to the Mayor's Report. I'm back here in Pottsville in the Mayor's office, Mayor Dave Clews, giving you a monthly report of what's happening in greater Pottsville. But remember, it's interesting because the whole area is affected by what cities do. But before I go on, I want to just do a little homework here. First of all, you all know that we did a scientific polling with Susquehanna Polling and Research. They were just voted the #1 research polling company in Pennsylvania, and we're very happy for that. We also appreciate the fact that, you know, in the Pottsville area, we're over 36% in growth. We make this show, the Sam Lesante Show, 50-some thousand people watching each week. We really appreciate that. But people like Vito's Coal Fire Pizza and Restaurant, Carmela's Roman Delight, Explore Schuylkill, 12 Volt Dave, Pottsville Eye, Ambrose Hearing, Bob Weaver, Attorney Christine Holman, and of course our media sponsor, we're very excited, was having the Republican Herald on board with us, as well as the standing speaker. I want to thank you, all the sponsors that make these shows possible. Mayor, how are you?
Doing well, doing well.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
It sure is.
You think I should go on the road singing?
No, please don't.
So anyway, as we're going on with the shows, and we're talking about a lot of great things happening here in Pottsville. I was here, the last time I was down here, was walking someone, and a lady came up to me and she says, I really like the fact that the mayor's on telling you what's going on in the town, because everybody does their own thing. They have a lot on their plate, they can't study Pottsville in City Hall, what's going on. And I'm excited today because I had the new chief coming on a little later on too.
I know, we're excited about that here, and you're right. I've been getting the same feedback when I'm out. People saying, hey, it's great to see that show on. You keep us informed on what's happening. So, I thank you for the airtime.
Well, listen, it's something. I always, when we started programming, when I started back in 1994, Dave, I may have told you this when we met in 1999. I thought maybe that it's neighborhood information. It's always good to have neighborhood information, because when you turn on the big channels, you get 30 seconds, or they're down here if there's a fire, a shooting, or whatever. And they have to, all due respect, they have to cover that. But I figured with Samson Productions and SSP TV, we should be able to localize and talk about what's happening. Like we'll talk about the new chief today. But in Pottsville, what's happening so far?
Well, it's been very busy and very positive. Every time you've been here, I've been telling you about a different ribbon cutting or a new business opening. I have 2 to do yet this week. New businesses, one brand new business, and another one that's relocating. So, we have the excitement of that going on. It's budget time here in the city, so myself and all my fellow councilmen and all the department heads are, working on their budget. In some cases, their wish list. Yeah. But we're keeping very busy with that.
Wait, before you do that, I want to. Here's a question. I wondered, what do you do as a selling point to bring people in to Pottsville? I mean, like when I'm selling our programming, I'm going to clients and business and saying, like to have you advertise on our shows. We have these viewers. That's why we did our polling, to let them know that we do have those people. What do you offer a business? Like what would be your selling point?
Well, first of all, we have just the history of Pottsville. Of course, we always talk about the home of America's oldest brewery being Yuengling. We have some great architecture in the town here we talk about. The departments here within City Hall are very cooperative with, incoming, whether they're looking for residency or they're a business looking to come here. We all realize the value that brings to our city. It's a tax base for businesses. It's a tax base when somebody moves here, residentially, as it would be in any town. But we have a bunch of people here who now are looking at it from a customer standpoint. Everybody coming through the door is a customer of ours now, and we want to serve them and make sure they're a happy customer when they leave. Some people think we throw up roadblocks and make things tough, but we do things in a positive light that'll sustain business, keep people safe. There's that attitude of we're here to help you and we want you here in Pottsville.
Do you have any incentives for business coming in? If they're like business grants or loans or something that would be an incentive like some cities have?
We do have a redevelopment authority that can help in some cases for those who qualify. We're fortunate enough to have PADCO, the Pottsville Area Development Corporation here in town, who also has access to some grant money that the city it doesn't because of how it's structured within other parts of the government. So we have incentives to bring those people into town and try and help them establish their new business here.
So with a good base in town, okay, and you have your places, hopefully to capacity, 100%, that in turn generates income for the city. That in turn helps the police department, helps the fire department, helps the street department, helps to facilitate services that go back to the public. Am I correct in saying?
Oh, absolutely. With some annual fees, of course, the tax base, all those things go into the city budget. And then when we're looking at those departments, the more money we have, of course, the more we can support them. We've been pretty financially stable here and keep an eye on things and, work a tight budget. Nobody wants to see that headline news that says, tax increase coming.
Yeah.
And we've been very good at that, and I think we're going to see it again this year. It sure looks that way.
Boy, they certainly deserve it with inflation and energy costs today. It's just crazy, Dave.
And that's what makes it really challenging, Sam, is the fact that, everybody at home's dealing with those things.
Sure, yeah.
So are we here in City Hall, the prices of fuel. We have 7 fire companies that are out there, and the number of calls they do, as you heard from Chief Mastician a while ago, is absolutely phenomenal. And what most people don't realize is, those big trucks are out there at, 2 to 6 miles to the gallon on diesel, which is now approaching, $6-7 a gallon. Our costs are going up too. So when we're looking at a budget, and you've planned from last year, and we all know where we were last year at this time and this time in the economy and the prices. Not only are the people at home dealing with it, we're looking at our budget line items
That's an excellent point, Dave, because people, again, what they're facing is exactly what you're facing. We're going to take a break. When we come back, I'd like to interview. Tell me about the new chief that you have.
Oh, I got to tell you, I've been fortunate enough to be working with Chief Morrow now for several years. All the years I was involved with the Pottsville Clews. He was our main liaison back and forth, so I've had the luxury of working with him that way. Mm-hmm. Being born and raised here in the city, know him a long time. When he moved up, several other officers within the force moved forward, and when you have those things happen, it's good for the morale of the department.
Yes.
And everybody's real positive, and I'm glad he's in the chair.
Well, we're going to bring him on. We'll bring you back to wrap it up. Folks, you're watching the Sam Lesante Show. Mayor's Report. Here at Pottsville, the mayor's office. Mayor Dave Clews. We're going to take a break. We'll be back, and we'll introduce you to the new chief. You all know him, probably, John Morrow. Welcome back to the Sam Lesante Show, folks. Once again, I want to thank you, and we're very happy to have a media partner here, the Republican Herald, who is our media partner, as well as the standard speaker, keeping the community informed via paper, via TV. Also, I want to personally thank some of the sponsors that sponsor this show. These are people that are investing in the community, investing in your information that we provide you. Vito's Coal Fire Pizza and Restaurant, Carmelo's Roman Delight, Explorer Schuylkill, 12 Volt Dave's, Pottsville Eye, Ambrose Hearing, Bob Weaver, always been very gracious to us, Attorney Christine Holman, and LVHS. And of course, once again, media departments. Now I'd like to introduce, no stranger, I guess, to the area, John Morrow. Chief John Morrow, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
It's a challenge. I applaud anyone who is in police, fire, EMS, anyone who's out there helping, what people sometimes may not realize, John, when you get up in the morning, you don't know they're going to come home alive. There's a lot of wackos out there. Not that you haven't dealt with them over the years, okay. But tell me about your experience, and what people should know about John Morrow.
Well, I was hired here as a patrolman in November of 1991. I went through the Reading Police Academy and graduated there in March of '92. I worked up through the ranks, corporal, sergeant, and I was also part of the narcotics investigations unit for quite a few years.
That must have been an interesting challenge.
You get to see and do a lot of things that people normally don't know what's going on out there.
Are you married?
I am married and I have 2 children.
Crime, okay. How has crime gone up, down, or the same? Or what has it been in Greater Pottsville?
I'd like to say it dropped off a little bit. And thankfully, we don't have the serious crime. I mean, we have your thefts, we have your vandalisms, and of course we have the assaults with the domestic violences. But generally, the serious crime isn't as, it's not as, it doesn't hit this area as hard as it does the other areas.
How about drugs?
We have drugs. We have the people that are using constantly. We have the drug unit, which are guys that we pay overtime to do that extra, and they do a really good job with it.
In terms of when you're arresting these people for theft or whatever drugs, okay, are they young people, old people? I mean, are they all different ages?
They're all different ages, and to be quite honest with you, the drugs and the thefts a lot of times go hand in hand.
Sure, they need money for the drugs.
Right.
Does your department, I may have asked the former chief this, do you go into the schools and educate the kids as to the importance of why you shouldn't be using drugs? We
don't do the DARE program so much anymore, but we try and put officers in the school, like they'll do walkthroughs of the schools during their shifts, and the interactions are very positive with the students.
Now, what are your feelings as a police officer in terms of marijuana? Not medical marijuana, I'm talking marijuana.
Well, it's something that I've been a part of arresting people with for 30 years. I mean, it's a drug. Personally, I would not want to see it legalized. I think it leads on to other things. We always used to call it a gateway drug.
Yes. Yeah. Now, here's the interesting thing, John. Okay, now listen to this, my friends. How is it that every time I interview anyone on law enforcement, even our coroner, Schuylkill County coroner, everyone who has experience, who is on the field, seeing the damage that it does, say that it's not good, but yet the legislators would think it is good, and they would pass laws to make your job, I think, more difficult, because you are introduced. I always use it as a comparison. You're at a bar and you're having beer and you're having a great time with your friends, and who's happy, and you're drinking some beer and all of that. Let's have some shots. And then you get into shots, and after shots you want. So I think it's the same kind of thing. I mean, I'm not a prude here by no means, but you see it, and you see the damage it does. I mean, I can't understand that. I say I get dumber every day.
Well, and if they would legalize marijuana, in my opinion, it would also affect the DUI laws, and then they'd have to revisit all of that. Because right now, marijuana is considered illegal, and if you meet a certain threshold that you're driving a car, you would be charged with DUI.
Why do you think so many people are saying it should be legal?
I don't know.
And probably half of those people don't even use marijuana.
That I can't answer,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. I mean, I can't understand it, John. What direction do you want to go into with the police department?
Chief Wojciechowski, when he was here, had us on a very good path. I would like to keep us visible. I would like to have our officers treat people like they want to be treated, like they would want to be treated themselves. I would like to have them well trained and the best equipment possible.
I wish you the best, and all the people who are in the force the best. Anything you'd like to tell the public before we go to break and bring the mayor back in?
My office is always open. My phone is always there. If you leave a message, I promise you I will call you back.
Yeah, and hopefully, if they need any kind of help or something. Now, what about anonymous? If people knowing that there's something illegal going on and they're afraid to call because they don't want to be implicated, okay? Do you have an anonymous?
Well, they can call and leave a message anonymously. They don't have to leave their name. And we can look into it.
Because sometimes when you have people out there like Crime Watch, they could be a tremendous help to the police department.
True.
Do you
True.
have Crime Watch in your areas?
We don't, but as you spoke, a lot of times people will call and they'll say, I don't want to leave my name, but maybe you want to take a look at
yes,
this.
I
This is
think
going
that,
on.
and keep doing that, my friends.
Yes.
It could help you guys a lot, okay? Well, I wish you the best.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, that's Chief John Morrow, my friends, over 30 years. Applaud anyone in law enforcement today, my friends. They get up in the morning, they don't know what they're going to encounter, and sometimes, unfortunately, they don't come home. So if you could help them and give them the support that they need, and hopefully fund them, which we need, not defund them, is very important. But I think Mayor Clews is going to do a great job at the police department. I've seen it happen in the last couple of years. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Sam Lesante Show, folks. The Mayor's Report. We're here at Pottsville in the Mayor's office, beautiful Pottsville. Remember 24/7, ssptv.com. You can watch all of our shows, our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for making this show the #1 talk show in Northeastern Pennsylvania. I'm here with Mayor Clews. Well, interesting to hear from what John's going to be doing in terms of crime and his direction for the city. Now, there's a lot of things happening in the next month or so, at the end of November and December. Tell us what's going on.
Yeah, we have a lot happening. Like I said earlier, we have some new businesses we're welcoming. We're going to be celebrating 100 years of the Pottsville Library coming up very shortly. That's exciting to have that kind of establishment that long here in the city. Of course, we have coming up Small Business Saturday here in our downtown area and throughout the city. We do Elf on a Shelf, a little bit of an elf hunt. 26 businesses.
Is Jerry Enders play the elf?
That would be appropriate. Yeah, of course, I don't know. It'd be easy to find. So that, that's always been a successful event. On that day, we'll have Santa in town. He's going to ride around in a fire truck. And then later in the day, we have the mayor's tree lighting in the square. First year, I get to turn the lights on our grand Christmas tree, and then children's Christmas party after that at the Methodist Church in our square. So, real nice day that we put together for the city here, and we're always proud of that. We're working on this year, our Christmas lights in town. So I got a little bit of a goal I'm working towards. Our Christmas lights, Sam, we're 21 years old.
Oh, wow.
Our street department has MacGyvered them together for about the last 5 years to make them work. I'd like to raise about $30,000 for Christmas lights.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Each one of those lights runs $700-800 a piece. So at $30,000, it doesn't go far with the number of light poles we have to decorate. And I'm proud to say that the Pottsville Business Association, towards that goal, has already promised $10,000.
Good.
So I'm going to be sending a personal letter out to some of the local businesses, and of course, asking the general public if they can help. We sure want to bring that Christmas feeling, back in town.
Nothing like it. Yeah.
Nothing like looking at a main street all lit up with nice lights.
It'd be a sense of pride there as well.
We got the street departments out this time of year. All the leaves are coming down,
Yeah,
so they've been
tell me
out,
about it.
vacuuming up leaves every day. Just a lot of exciting things going on here, and keeping busy. And like I said, we're working on our budget. And, that'll keep us busy and hopefully have it all balanced out before the end of the year for 2023, and we'll be set to go.
The interesting thing about the holidays is that it creates a good spirit. The streets department have their hands full, believe me when I tell you, as well as the fire department and the police department. Are you satisfied so far? Don't mean to put you in a spot here, but are you satisfied so far as what you thought you would want to do as mayor and where you're at now?
I still feel positive. It's only it'll be a year coming up shortly. The one thing I've learned is the challenges of moving things just through government is a little frustrating. When you're a businessman and a business owner, you can, make things happen pretty quickly, all but immediately. When you're here and you're dealing with the wheels of government, it's a little frustrating. But everything's been in a positive direction, and I think we've got a great team happening, and it's just, pretty much been what I expected.
People people agree to disagree, okay? Always. And, not putting their personal agendas on the plate, but putting the people's that they're serving on the plate. I think you've been always been that kind of person, and bring it into the city hall. It's a challenge today, being in politics. Particularly today, it's a real challenge. And I applaud anybody who runs for office, who is in office. It's a tough task, Sometimes you got to cut them a break.
Yeah, it does have its days. I unfortunately just left a friend of mine's viewing, and so I was leaving. I am still getting used to that. Mr. Mayor, hello, Mr. Mayor. I still think, I'm still Dave. I'm still 12-volt Dave. So I getting used to the title, which is a real honor, and I really do appreciate it. But if there was something that, what's the most difficult thing I've had to get used to? Being called the mayor.
Yeah, he wants me to call him Mr. Mayor, incidentally, my friend.
Especially you.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor. Yeah. So we have the Christmas lights coming in. We have a lot of activities. New Year's Eve, do they still have the Yuengling?
We've dropped COVID may have stopped that for at least a year. We were just talking earlier about at least making tentative plans to do the New Year's Eve in Garfield Square. I know the Rec Commission works on those things and is planning that, and right now planning for our Christmas tree lighting, and then the children's Christmas party, which is real special. Still very very small town proud type of event.
It just dawned on me. We keep on talking about all the different areas that you can go here in historic areas. If someone had someone from McAdoo, I think, asked me this question, because I play this up also on our Hazelton system. If someone wants to come here and they want to have a tour of the town, knowing where these places are, instead of going around, where would they start?
Well, they could come here to City Hall. We do have some walking tour brochures.
You do?
Yes.
Okay.
It'll take them to different historic areas here in town.
Yeah.
One of the things we do at Christmas, we have Yuengling Park up on Montunga Street, which has some great historic, beautiful old houses up there.
Yes.
That all decorate up for the holidays. Yeah. But we have what was Yuengling's, where they had their pump house for their water years ago. They've turned that over to the city, and we've turned it into an absolutely beautiful park. So every year around Christmas, really holiday it up. Santa there, we usually have reindeer there, some choral groups there, and usually have a carriage ride with horses that night. There are several nights there. So again, that small town feeling. Get out and get in the holiday spirits.
Good. Well, Mayor, I wish you the best. Okay,
Thank you,
and all
Sam.
the people working for him. Folks, you're watching the Mayor's Report here on Comcast 190, Hazelton, Channel 13 and 513, in the Wilkes-Barre Mountaintop area in Kingston, Channel 92, every Friday and Saturday evening from 7 to 11 p.m. We'll see you next time.